When even the pros admit they're scared of the corkscrew, you know it's a tricky corner. But that's the point.
They're built to be challenging. You're supposed to be racing out there, not just driving around.
Nearly 6,000 miles to the west is another racetrack with a strong connection to Yamaha. The difference is that this racetrack is private. No one from the public ever gets in. This is Yamaha's private test track in Fukuroi, about 10 miles from Hamamatsu, Japan. Test tracks are even more difficult than racetracks. They're intentionally designed with real-world bumps and oddly shaped corners because the goal is to push new bikes to the absolute limit.
Fukuroi, what an amazing world this is. This and other test tracks that manufacturers use. They get a chance to take their production or pre-production motorcycles into an environment that they think they'll be used on. So, for instance, the R1 should be tested on a racetrack.
The R1 and R6 were both tested at Fukuroi. In fact, since 1969, every bike Yamaha has ever made has been ridden here. Some by factory test riders, others by Yamaha's world-class racers.
At the Yamaha test track, they had a straightaway that was just about a mile long that they would test, their street bikes and their race bikes. I remember going down the straightaway there. They had sensors down the straightaway, and they could measure trap speeds, acceleration speeds, and it went 206 miles an hour. That was back in 1990, and so we thought we had a real weapon that year. And in that year we did. We went on to win my first world championship.
What they learned with Wayne Rainey and his prototype race bikes at Fukuroi in the early 90s played a major role in the design of the new R1 and R6 sport bikes for street riders.
We have a strong relationship with our racing department. We share the same designers. When we develop a new model, we get all kinds of information, including the latest racing technology.
The R6 frame comes straight from what Yamaha engineers have learned from racing. It's strong, light, and remarkably compact. Put that all together, and you have a motorcycle that really likes to carve through the corners. That's great on the street, but at Fukuroi, good handling is an absolute requirement.
R6 is a different bike. I mean, of any of the 600s, race bike for the road. You get on that bike, the harder you ride it on the track, the better it works.
What really strikes me every time I ride an R6 is how unbelievably quick you can go into and through corners. The chassis is so hooked up, it's got so much front tire communication, and that's what a rider wants. At any level, we would like to know what the tires are doing.
Cornering is the most important part of having fun on a sport bike. Our focus is on how fast we can go through corners and how fast we can accelerate coming out of them.
There is a direct link between the very first Yamaha and the newest R1 and R6. That link is Yamaha's dedication to Kano and a design philosophy that has never changed.
Simple, light, compact, powerful.
Simple, light, compact, powerful. That has been our design concept from the very first motorcycle, and it continues today.